Good evening, friends. This is Naresh, your host from Autocars India, and I am here live once again after the long summer break for Formula One 2017 season. Good evening, friends. After a great this is Naresh, your host from Autocars during India, and I am summer break live once again after the. I'm back with you. Good evening, friends. Here for the round 12. This is Naresh, your host from Autocars India, and I am here live. We have some few minutes to go for the qualifying session to start. And just to sum up what has happened during the summer break, some of the things which have unfolded in this summer break. Very interestingly, Lewis Hamilton was pretty relaxed. He went for long holidays during this break, and he seems to be pretty relaxed now. And the most important and talking point was Robert Kubica, who actually tested for Renault, and he's been found fit to drive the car, 2017 car. He made a lot of laps during the sessions. So Robert Kubica seemed to be a very good option for Renault next year. And also very interestingly, Kimi Raikkonen has signed another one-year contract with Ferrari, and very unlikely that Ferrari is going to move out from Sebastian Vettel, who is very happy as they have got the championship winning car now finally. We have just about few minutes to start for the qualifying session. I'll be taking you live through the qualifying session. Hope all of you have also enjoyed the summer holidays, though it's always a good time to be having a nice weather in Belgium, where a lot of rains off and on were happening, and it's a nice time in Belgium altogether, and everybody is all set for this Grand Prix, which is the weekend is going to be coming to a very important starting and end. Also, if you see this time around in Spa, you have very strong Ferrari coming up, and Mercedes has real threat at their hands. Let's just take a brief look on the championship standings. Championship season started in Australia with Sebastian Vettel winning the first round, followed by Lewis Hamilton in Chinese Grand Prix second round. Sebastian Vettel again wins the Bahrain Grand Prix in April, and the fourth Grand Prix of the season was won by Valtteri Bottas, where he actually stamped his authority in Mercedes team. Next was round number 5 in Spain, Barcelona, where Lewis Hamilton got his second win of the season, followed by Sebastian Vettel winning the third race of the season in Monaco. Then it was Canada, where Lewis Hamilton again stamping the authority and actually making it a serious affair for 2017, followed by next race where we had a lot of drama happening in Azerbaijan, Baku, where Daniel Ricciardo won his first Grand Prix after a long time in 2017 season. Thereby followed by Valtteri Bottas again winning in Austria, followed by British Grand Prix won by Lewis Hamilton, masterly classed driven car by Lewis Hamilton. Then followed by Hungarian Grand Prix before the summer break was won by Sebastian Vettel. (2017) season so far. Mercedes for constructor standings is leading with 357 points, followed by Ferrari 318 and Red Bull 184 points. In terms of driver standing, Sebastian Vettel is leading the driver championship with 202 points, Lewis Hamilton following with 188 points, 14 short of Sebastian Vettel, and Valtteri Bottas 169 catching up thick and fast, followed by Daniel Ricciardo and Kimi Raikkonen almost on equal points with only 1 point difference. And here we are at Spa-Francorchamps, Belgium, round 12, longest circuit of Formula 1 calendar, just over 7 kilometers with a distance of 7.004 kilometers to be precise. 19 numbers of turn available and elevation change of 102 meters. 2 DRS zones available in this, and the fastest lap is by Sebastian Vettel in Red Bull Racing long back in 2009. Lot of Max Verstappen supporters are here to support him this time around too. Last time they were pretty disappointed when Max Verstappen was taken off in the first lap of the race in Hungarian Grand Prix. Just to remind you, Max Verstappen, he also belongs to Belgium, even though he's a Dutch, and also it's not very far away from here. Air temperature at the circuit presently 23 degrees Celsius, track temperature 34 degrees Celsius, and there are about 10 to 20% chances of having a rain over here. And in the meantime, it has been confirmed also that Vettel has signed a new deal with Ferrari. So Vettel is going to be staying with Ferrari for another season, and not even one season. Vettel has signed with new Ferrari contract until 2020. So it's very interesting where Ferraris are leading in Belgium this weekend with 2 of the 3 practice sessions going to Ferrari and 1 practice session going to Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton. As qualifying session is just about to start in some time, in a beautiful nice weather out in Spa-Francorchamps, Belgium Grand Prix, round number 12 of Formula 1 2017 season. There are very less chances of having a rain today in this circuit. This is your host Naresh from Autocars India, bringing you live podcast for Formula One qualifying session for round 12 Belgian Grand Prix. Today in the final practice session, Bottas was only 6th with both the Ferraris leading 1 and 2 in free practice 3, followed by Lewis Hamilton, then followed by the Red Bulls and by Valtteri Bottas. There are some rumors going around in the paddock where it's been understood that Fernando Alonso might move to Williams, but that is very unlikely he's going to do that. Probably only option with him as of now, because Ferrari is closed. Mercedes doesn't seem to be moving around with two drivers. It seems the only option with Fernando Alonso will be to stay in McLaren or go for a holiday off to IndyCar for the full season. Time will tell. The qualifying session has been started. We have 18 minutes to go in the session. We are already in the 17th minute. Few of the drivers have come out on the track, warming up the tires and getting ready for the action. Hamilton is the first driver out on super soft tires. He's followed by his teammate Bottas and Force Indias. Lewis Hamilton has started his time lap now. In the meantime, Kimi Räikkönen is reporting some issues with his car and reporting of a lot of vibrations in his car from the rear end. Hamilton tops the timesheets with Q1. Bottas is a second with half a second gap. They're already on 44.3 second. So that's a quite fast lap for them. Raikkonen betters his time. He comes P2. Sebastian Vettel, the next one to go, he goes P1. 1:44.275. Next one to go is Max Verstappen. He goes faster in the sector 1. This is his first time lap. Let's see what he can do in the second sector. Lot of fan following for Verstappen at this circuit. And Max Verstappen is slower in the second sector by almost 1/10 of the second. Let's see where he finishes in the third sector, which is quite strong for Red Bull in the third sector here at Spa. Just going to the last two corners on the start-finish straight. Where does he finish? He goes P3. With just about 8 minutes to go in qualifying session 1, Lewis Hamilton is P1, followed by Sebastian Vettel and Max Verstappen. Sebastian Vettel is just separated by 9/100th of a second from Lewis Hamilton. Max Verstappen further 3/10 down, followed by Kimi Raikkonen 5/10 down from the leader, who is Lewis Hamilton. Bottas sits at 5th place, Daniel Ricciardo 6th, followed by Esteban Ocon, Perez, Van Dorn and Alonso completing the top 10. Drivers in relegation zone: Kvyat, Hülkenberg, Palmer, Verheugen and Marcus Ericsson. I am bringing you this live podcast from Autocars India. This is round 12 of 2017 Formula One Championship at Spa-Francorchamps. So here, drivers in relegation zone: Marcus Ericsson from Sauber, Pascal Wehrlein from Sauber, Jolyon Palmer and Hulkenberg, surprisingly, they have not started yet. They have not come out on the track. Both the Reynolds and Daniel Kvyat, who just moves up to 15th position, just brings out himself out of the relegation zone for just a bit of time. With 6 minutes to go, Nico Hulkenberg puts his first time lap, comes out 11th fastest, and Jolyon Palmer even better, he comes out 8th fastest. So both the Reynolds are out of the relegation zone pretty comfortably, and also both the McLarens are also comfortable looking at this point of time, where Fernando Alonso is 12th and Stoffel Van Doom is 10th position. Felipe Massa, who is currently 15th, just at the edge of the relegation zone. His crew is getting him ready to come out on the track and try to save his position. So all the cars are in the garages and they're just getting ready for the final lap before the Q1 comes to an end. We have just about 5 minutes to go in the qualifying session 1 of this race. Palmer and Hulkenberg really made a great lap and brought them out of the relegation zone in 8th and 11th positions respectively. Magnussen and Grosjean both are out on the track. Both are in the relegation zone right now. With just about 4 minutes to go in this session, it's going to be a thrilling weekend today in the qualifying, where we do not expect some rains or the other, but tomorrow we do have 20 to 30% of chances of rain falling in Spa. But remember, this circuit is not much affected by even heavy rains because located on the hills and water drains out pretty quickly. So Roman Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen, both of them starts their time lap now, with Roman Grosjean ahead on the track, goes in the fast flowing corners in sector 1, turn number 1, 2 and 3. We have just about 2.5 seconds to go in this session now. So drivers in relegation zone: Roman Grosjean, Haas, Daniel Kvyat, Toro Rosso, Lance Stroll, Williams, Marcus Ericsson and Pascal Wehrlein from Saubers. Roman Grosjean in the final sector desperately wants to bring his car out of the relegation zone. Let's see what he does. Seems to be pretty comfortably, should be able to do it. No, he doesn't. Oh, actually he does. He goes P12 and Kevin Magnussen goes P9. sprints a stunning lap to bring his Haas car in P9. In a threatening position now could be Fernando Alonso and Carlos Sainz at 14th and 15th position. But I'm sure they are aware, and Fernando Alonso is also on the track. So Fernando Alonso almost completing his sector 1. Let's see where does he stands at the end of the sector 1. He's almost 1/10 of a second slower of P1. And sector 2 is a weak point for McLaren, where they lose out due to the straight line speed. Let's see at the end of the sector 2 where does Fernando Alonso stands. He's almost 8/10 of a second down from P1. Presently Kimi Raikkonen is 4th position with Lewis Hamilton leading at P1, and here comes a Fernando Alonso start finish line. He goes P11, so he should be safe in this position, P11, and should come out to qualify for the second session. Lance Stroll has raised up his hands. He's out of the car. He is not going to go further. Felipe Massa, the other Williams driver. You have Marcus Ericsson, Daniel Kvyat, Felipe Massa on the track, just closing to each other, with Felipe Massa leading, and bit of a slower lap in sector 2. He's down on P15 time, the relegation zone. He's not doing good and doesn't seems to be qualifying for second session. Daniel Kvyat is also slower. Marcus Ericsson is also slower. Let's see whether he can pick up. Felipe Massa just rounding off the last corner of the straight, comes here and he goes P15. In fact, he displaces Sainz. Marcus Ericsson is behind him. Where does he go? He doesn't improve. P19, Marcus Ericsson. Daniel Kvyat. P17. Checkered flag is out. Carlos Sainz is P8. Pascal Wehrlein, where does he finishes? He is last on the grid. P20. Nico Hülkenberg. In the meantime, he betters his time. He goes P11. So drivers out: Felipe Massa, Daniel Kvyat, Lance Stroll, Marcus Ericsson, Pascal Wehrlein out for Q2. What a session 1 we had just now. With Felipe Massa and Lance Stroll, both the Williams are out. So first session gets over. Lewis Hamilton is leading with Felipe Massa from Williams out, Daniel Kvyat out, Lance Stroll out, Marcus Ericsson and Pascal Wehrlein also out in qualifying session 1. So here we go. We have first session completed, qualifying session 1. Drivers out. You have Felipe Massa, Daniel Kvyat from Toro Rosso, Lance Stroll from Williams, Marcus Ericsson from Sauber, and Pascal Wehrlein also from Sauber out in qualifying session 1. This is round 12 of 2017 Formula 1 Belgian Grand Prix at Spa-Francorchamps. Lewis Hamilton tops the timesheets with qualifying session 1 just got completed. He is first, followed by Sebastian Vettel, who is second. Max Verstappen from Red Bull, P3. Kimi Raikkonen, P4. Valtteri Bottas, P5. Daniel Ricciardo, 6th position. 7th goes to Esteban Ocon. Force India, Nico Hülkenberg from Renault, 8th. 9th, Carlos Sainz. And 10th, Stoffel Vandoorne. 11th position is for Jolyon Palmer. Kevin Magnussen, 12th. 13th, Sergio Perez. Fernando Alonso and Roman Grosjean completes top 15, who have qualified for session 2. Lewis Hamilton has topped the timesheets. So these are the positions after qualifying session 1, and we have just started qualifying session 2. Remember, qualifying session 2, only top 10 drivers will fight for the final shootout, which will give you qualifying podium starts. As of now, Lewis Hamilton leads and he is P1. Valtteri Bottas P2, Sebastian Vettel 3rd, Max Verstappen, Kimi Raikkonen, Daniel Ricciardo, Esteban Ocon, Nico Hülkenberg, Carlos Sainz and Stoffel Vandoorne finishes top 10. We have 12 minutes and a half to go in session 2 with Lewis Hamilton starting his time lag, just traversing through the first, second and third corner, fast flowing corners. Sector 1 timing 30.195 seconds. Very strong in sector 1 for Lewis Hamilton, and real time differences will start coming as Valtteri Bottas is just behind him, with Kimi Raikkonen following both of them, both the Mercedes. About to complete the sector 2. Lewis Hamilton just goes off the track for a bit, but well in control of the car. Completing the sector 2 now, no harms done whatsoever, and crosses the checkpoint for sector 2 and going through round final corners. And where does he finish, Lewis Hamilton? He goes 1 minute 43.5 seconds. He is P1 as of now. Valtteri Bottas goes P2, 2/10 of the second down. Kimi Raikkonen behind. Where does Kimi Raikkonen finishes? Interesting to see. He is P2 now. Kimi Raikkonen P2 with 1/10 of the second down. Sebastian Vettel is also following, coming around the last corner. Where does he finishes? Interesting to see. He goes only P4. Sebastian Vettel is only P4 here. Very, very interesting to see. He was coming out quite strong, but here he is only P4. With 10 minutes to go, Lewis Hamilton still tops the time sheet. Followed by Kimi Raikkonen, Valtteri Bottas and Sebastian Vettel. And Fernando Alonso goes P7. McLaren looking pretty strong here now. With just about 10 minutes to go, Lewis Hamilton still topping the timesheets. Eight minutes to go. Nico Hülkenberg now, he's just completing sector 2, comes out round the corner in turn number 16 and going across very fast on the straights, traversing the last corner. Nico Hülkenberg is presently 13th fastest and he comes around the corner, last corner of the track, start finish line. Where does he finishes? Seems to be pretty slow, but comfortably in 11th position, doesn't bring out of the relegation zone. Fernando Alonso is sitting at the 10th position presently. He has bettered the time in the last lap, with Roman Grosjean also coming out on the last corner just before the start finish straight, and he comes P13. Roman Grosjean is P13 as of now. Lewis Hamilton sitting comfortably on top of the timesheets, followed by Kimi Raikkonen, second position, Valtteri Bottas, other Mercedes, third position, Max Verstappen, fourth. Sebastian Vettel surprisingly sitting in fifth position, whereas he was very fast in free practice 3 session. Ricciardo is sixth fastest, Jolyon Palmer seventh, Esteban Ocon eighth, and Sergio Perez 9th. Fernando Alonso filling up the last position, and he's just getting ready, tires change, coming out for the one more last time, a fast lap he wants to put in and wants to come in the third session. We have just about 5 minutes to go for this session. Lewis Hamilton had bit of the movement in the last lap where he went on the curbs, but he managed to control his car well, as all the drivers are in pit except Nico Hülkenberg and Roman Grosjean, just getting ready with new set of tires for one more lap to safeguard themselves in next session, and also lower down the order, Hülkenberg, Magnussen, Grosjean, Sainz and Van Dome trying to bring their cars out of the relegation zone. As all the drivers are in pit, I would like to ask all my viewers who are listeners, who are listening to me, to like and subscribe my channel by hitting subscribe button on the right bottom corner of your screens. I bring all the action in Formula 1 during the calendar for all the qualifying and race days live on my channel Autocars India. All the latest happenings and updates during the race and the weekend as they get unfolded. To update you once again, this is round 12 of Formula 1 season, with Sebastian Vettel leading the driver championship, followed by Lewis Hamilton and fast catching Bottas is coming in the third position. So we expect this is going to be a very, very interesting season where things are heating up very fast, with Ferrari really coming up strong now. Stay tuned to my Autocars India as we go last 3 minutes of the qualifying session 2 with drivers under threat. Nico Hülkenberg from Renault, Kevin Magnussen Haas, Roman Grosjean also Haas, Carlos Sainz Sauber, and Stoffel Vandoorne McLaren, as every car is coming out of the pits now to have the final go to safeguard themselves. Lewis Hamilton comfortably at the top of the timesheet. Fernando Alonso currently sitting at 10th position, trying to bring some positions in this lap, which is the last chance. Just about 2 minutes to go for qualifying session 2 to get over. Hülkenberg, Magnussen, Grosjean, Carlos Sainz and Vandoorne in the relegation zone as drivers getting ready, all bunching up to start of the time lap. And here Fernando Alonso starts his time lap, coming to the first corner, which is just about 250 meters from the start finish line, and then the fast flowing curbs and circuit going across for turn number 2, 3 and 4 with 8th gear in progress. Fastest speed achieved is 335 km per hour. And sector 1, Stoffel Vandoorne is almost down by 2.5 seconds, where Fernando Alonso seems to be faster, just about 0.2 of a second shy of P1 position. Very strong lap for Fernando Alonso. Let's see where does he bring his car out. Esteban Ocon is following Fernando Alonso and Kevin Magnussen just behind him. Fernando Alonso in the sector 2, giving everything he has, all the experience he carries in Formula 1, his career. He wants to bring his car to Q3. Sector 2 just getting over and almost 1.5 seconds down on sector 2, which doesn't seem to be bettering his time now, because he's going to lose a lot of time. He seems to be backing off and getting ready for the next lap, but will he be able to go to the checkered flag? That's a big question. It doesn't seem to be. So Fernando Alonso stays at P7. We do not know whether he will go out to the next lap. It will be all depending upon Hülkenberg, Magnussen, Grosjean, Sainz and Vandoorne, what they can do. Vandoorne is already out. Ocon comes out. Doesn't better. Kevin Magnussen, he is the threat. He doesn't do it. Carlos Sainz doesn't do it. Roman Grosjean, last man. No, he doesn't do it. On the brink of moment, all are out. It's only the Hülkenberg who can displace Fernando Alonso. Will he be able to do it? He's still on the track. Nico Hülkenberg is still on the track with Fernando Alonso in 10th position. Let's see whether Nico Hülkenberg can do it. And he does. He does. So Fernando Alonso is out of qualifying, just been displaced by Nico Hülkenberg. So Fernando Alonso is out of qualifying. Other drivers out: Roman Grosjean, Kevin Magnussen, Carlos Sainz, Stoffel Vandoorne. Both the McLarens out. So here we go at the end of qualifying session 2. We have Lewis Hamilton topping the timesheets with P1, followed by Valtteri Bottas, second position, just separating about 0.3 of a second between him and the leader. Kimi Räikkönen sits at third position, Max Verstappen at fourth position, Sebastian Vettel Ferrari, surprisingly not able to give some good timings in this qualifying session as expected, though he had done very well in free practice sessions. He is at fifth position. Daniel Ricciardo from Red Bull is at sixth position. Seventh position is for Joel Palmer from Renault. Eighth goes to Sergio Perez, Force India. Nico Hülkenberg, other Renault, sits at ninth, and Esteban Ocon, Force India, 10th position. Drivers out: Fernando Alonso, McLaren 11th position, 12th Roman Grosjean Haas, Kevin Magnussen, other Haas, 13th position, 14th for Carlos Sainz, 15th Stoffel Vandoorne for McLaren. As we are getting ready for top 10 shootout, 16th position is for Felipe Massa, Williams, Daniel Kvyat, Toro Rosso 17th, Lance Stroll from Williams, 18th position, 19th by Marcus Ericsson, and last position Pascal Wehrlein for Saubers. Both the Saubers bottom of the timesheets. With qualifying session 3 just about to start, 12 minutes to separate the best drivers and completing the lineup for the race weekend on Sunday, where we expect some rain showers happening across the circuit. Though this circuit is not so prone to waterlogging and much of stoppages because of location right on top of the hills, and has a very good drainage facilities naturally and all the more artificially also, as everybody is getting ready for final session for top 10 shootout. Ferrari definitely have very strong chances here, as Mercedes, even though they are faster car, but not able to extract much of advantage which they were expected to do. We can see Valtteri Bottas is struggling all the weekend, whereas both the Ferraris were doing really good in free practice sessions. However, it's time to see as Lewis Hamilton just gets ready and brings his car out of the pits, goes on the track. We have to see now Sebastian Vettel, what does he do in the final session, as first of the 2 sets of laps comes through for this qualifying session. Both the Ferraris out, both the Mercedes out on the track and getting ready, warming up their tires, getting ready for the time lapse. Just about 11 minutes to go in this session. Lewis Hamilton is the first driver to come out on the track. And remember, Lewis Hamilton is chasing the glory with Michael Schumacher. If he wins the pole position, he is going to overtake the Michael Schumacher record. He is already equaling the Michael Schumacher record in the last few races, and he is going to be the maximum number of pole sitter position in the history of Formula 1. Let's see whether he can do. Seems to be shaping well. However, we expect some surprises from Kimi Räikkönen, especially in this weekend around. He's been very strong all the way, right from the weekend has started, and after Ferrari has confirmed Kimi Räikkönen for season 2018, and today Sebastian Vettel has been confirmed also the race seat in Ferrari till 2020, which is very, very interesting for Ferrari going forward. So Kimi Räikkönen starts his time lap. He is leading the pack. Lewis Hamilton following him. Sebastian Vettel is third in line. And we have a yellow flag in sector 3. Interesting to see who is there. So Kimi Räikkönen is the first one to cross, and almost the same timing as Lewis Hamilton. Sebastian Vettel is surprisingly again very slow. He's 3/10 of the second down in sector 1. Flags have been cleared. It was just a precautionary flag. Kimi Räikkönen in sector 2. Let's see whether he is able to better the time from Lewis Hamilton in the sector. This is predominantly strong sector for Ferrari. And Lewis Hamilton is almost 2/10 of the second faster after end of sector 2 as they head on to sector 3. Sebastian Vettel seems to be slow of 3 of them. Kimi Räikkönen, first one to cross the start finish line, 1:43.270. Lewis Hamilton just following him. He should be comfortably ahead of him. Yes, he does by 3/10 of the second. Sebastian Vettel is following him. Where does he go? He is P3 with 5/10 of a second down. Valtteri Bottas following them. Where does he go? He goes P3. Sebastian Vettel is 4th position. Max Verstappen behind them in the sector 3. Coming around last few corners. Last corner just about the start finish straight. Where does Max Verstappen finish? Lot of fan following behind Max Verstappen, half local here, and he goes only P5. Daniel Ricciardo now going around corner number 13, 14, quickly clean up just before the last corner of the straight, and he goes P6. So no shuffling down the order as Hamilton is still topping the time sheet. With first of the possible 2 time lapse are finished, cars will head back to the pits, get a fresher tires and go for the kill once again for the final time lap to get the podium positions for the race day. We have just about 5 minutes to go. So only top 6 cars have come out from the pits. All the cars, they know they are not so strong as top 6 cars, with Force India and Renaults resorting to just stay in the pits and only come out for 1 lap. With just about 5 minutes to go, Lewis Hamilton is leading the pack, sitting comfortably at top and chasing the glory today with maximum number of pole position. So Lewis Hamilton, if he wins the pole position here in Spa, so he is going to overtake Michael Schumacher record. Michael Schumacher has 68 pole position in his career. With just over 4 minutes to go for this session, now all the cars are coming out. Lewis Hamilton again this time around, first to come out on the track. Lewis Hamilton in Silverstone had overtaken Ayrton Senna, who has 65 pole positions, and Lewis Hamilton overtook him, and this time around he looks to equalize a record with Michael Schumacher. Michael Schumacher has 68 pole position in his career with Lewis Hamilton on 67, and he looks for the glory to equal the record of Michael Schumacher, the great of Formula One. Lewis Hamilton just one more time winning one more pole position, and he should be equaling the record of Michael Schumacher, who has 68 pole position in his career, and he seems to be well set for reaching that great of Formula One. Lewis Hamilton starts his time lap. The first sector is bit of down from his last time around, and Valtteri Bottas is actually faster in this lap, and he's matching his timing which was set by Lewis Hamilton in the last lap. Let's see where Lewis Hamilton completes his sector 2. That will be very interesting to see. This is the last chance he's going to get to better his time, Lewis Hamilton, and solidify his position for 68 pole position. Coming out on the corner just before finishing sector 2, and he's actually bettering. He's 0.3 of a second faster than his last time set by him. So Lewis Hamilton is very strong, where Valtteri Bottas is down by 1/10 of a second. So Lewis Hamilton comfortably seeming to be equaling the record of great Michael Schumacher, unless Max Verstappen has something to give in his kitty, in his Red Bull. Lewis Hamilton 142.5, which is also a new track record on Spa-Francorchamps. He is the fastest man, with Valtteri Bottas 5/10 of a second down. Max Verstappen is the one who is not a threat at all as he comes around, completing his sector 2. Sebastian Vettel, if he can do something, let's see, he's also finishing his sector 2 now. He's down 2. He's 2/10 of a second down. So it's only Kimi Raikkonen now who is left. Bit of a mistake by Max Verstappen. He should be coming out 5th position. He's 4, P4. He's better than Sebastian Vettel, who is just behind him, completing his lap now, and looks to be a spin for Kimi Räikkönen. He's made a mistake somewhere. Sebastian Vettel is coming, and he's P2. He is P2. Last sector, he has got stunning timing. Sebastian Vettel, 0.2 of a second down. Daniel Ricciardo, he is coming around last corner. Where does he finishes? 1.3 seconds down. He's 6th position. Lewis Hamilton has equaled the record of great Michael Schumacher for 68 pole positions. What a pole position for Lewis Hamilton here. He is now truly a legend in Formula One. True legend in Formula One, Lewis Hamilton. 68 pole positions in his career. Lewis Hamilton, he has become the new champion of the era for the pole positions. So 68 pole position for Lewis Hamilton here at Spa-Francorchamps, and he equals the record of great Michael Schumacher. So final timings after the completion of qualifying round for round 12 Formula One World Championship. Pole position goes to Lewis Hamilton with 1 minute 42.553 seconds, followed by Sebastian Vettel, P2, Ferrari, P3 goes to Valtteri Bottas. From Mercedes, Kimi Räikkönen, P4, P5 goes to Max Verstappen, Red Bull, followed by his teammate Daniel Ricciardo in 6th position, 7th for Nico Hülkenberg, Renault, 8th position Sergio Perez, and followed by his teammate Esteban Ocon on 9th, and 10th position for Jolyon Palmer for other Renault. Drivers who are out in qualifying session 2, Fernando Alonso for McLaren 11th, 12th Roman Grosjean, 13th Kevin Magnussen, 14th Carlos Sainz, 15th Stoffel Vandoorne McLaren, 16th position, starting position for Felipe Massa Williams. Daniel Kvyat Toro Rosso will start on 17th. 18th position will be for Lance Stroll Williams. 19th and 20th position goes to Saubers of Marcus Ericsson and Pascal Wehrlein. It was truly a great day where Lewis Hamilton comes out on top, and he equals the record of great Michael Schumacher for 68 pole position. So qualifying session just comes to an end, and it was a great absorbing qualifying session where Lewis Hamilton equals the record for maximum number of pole positions in the Formula One career, equals the record of great Michael Schumacher with 68 pole position. In British Grand Prix, he overtook the record of Ayrton Senna, the great Brazilian, who had 65 pole positions. Great day for Formula One, where another record has been equaled today, and also setup of the fastest track lap record in this track. Friends, do remember to like and subscribe my channel by hitting the subscribe button on right bottom corner of your screens, and do join me tomorrow at the time given on your screens with the reminders on. Keep your reminders on, and I'll be there bringing you the live action for the race day at round number 12 of Belgian Grand Prix of Formula One 2017 season at Spa-Francorchamps. With this, I would like to take a leave and wish you a great day, and look forward to see you again tomorrow on the race day for the Belgian Grand Prix. With this, signing off, your host Naresh from Autocars India. Good day, bye bye, take care.